The Gingerbread Man. In a distant little town was an old bakery owned by an elderly baker. He was passionate about creating sweets with all sorts of ingredients, and his bread and cookies were famous throughout the town. Everyone loved them. One day, he made a particular batch of cookies called Gingerbread Man. He flattened a giant ball of dough and used a gingerbread man-shaped cutter to cut out the cookies. Before putting them in the oven, he added eyes, a nose, and a mouth to each gingerbread man, decorating their bodies with candy. He was delighted with his work. As the cookies were baked in the oven, the baker could smell their sweet aroma, and he placed them on a rack to cool. However, he heard a strange noise just as he turned to attend to something else. One of the gingerbread men had stood up, jumped off the rack, and started running toward the door. The baker was utterly astonished. He had never seen anything like this before. He shouted, "Stop!" But the gingerbread man only chuckled and kept running. The gingerbread man dashed out of the bakery and down the street. The townspeople were amazed to see a living gingerbread man sprinting down the road. Everyone began chasing him, hoping to catch the miraculous cookie. However, the gingerbread man was agile and incredibly fast. As he ran, he sang with a cheeky grin.
"You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man."
More and more people from the town joined the chase, pursuing the gingerbread man through the streets, across the park, and past the school. Yet the gingerbread man seemed always to dodge their attempts to catch him at the last moment. Finally, the gingerbread man sprinted into the forest, escaping everyone's pursuit. The gingerbread man felt delighted, thinking he was safe. He strolled through the forest, admiring the beauty of nature. Along the way, he met all kinds of animals and quickly made friends with them. However, the gingerbread man soon realized that the forest also held dangers. He had heard that the foxes in the forest were quite cunning, often tricking other animals to get what they wanted. He needed to be cautious to avoid falling into the fox's traps. As he traveled, he learned many things from his new animal friends. A bird taught the gingerbread man how to sing, and soon, he could create beautiful melodies. A squirrel showed him how to climb trees, so the gingerbread man learned to scale the tallest branches. A mother duck taught him how to swim, and the gingerbread man mastered swimming in the forest's rivers. A rabbit explained that he could hide in tree hollows for safety if he ever found himself in danger. The gingerbread man was walking along a forest path when suddenly, he caught the rich, sweet scent of something delicious. He followed the aroma through a patch of trees, and before him stood a magical house. The walls were made of cookies and candy, with a thick layer of frosting coating the roof. The windows were transparent candy glass, and the door handles were crafted from chocolate. It was a gingerbread house. The gingerbread man felt highly excited. He ran up and gently knocked on the door. It opened and inside stood a few cookie people who looked very friendly. They glanced at the gingerbread man with welcoming smiles. One of them said,
"Welcome to the gingerbread house. Where are you from?"
The gingerbread man smiled and replied that he was from the town's bakery, sharing how he had been chased. The cookie people listened intently, occasionally gasping in surprise. Then they invited him inside and prepared all sorts of candies and treats for him. The interior of the gingerbread house was incredibly cozy, with walls adorned with colorful candy lights and rooms filled with comfortable chairs made of frosting. The cookie people warmly welcomed the gingerbread man, offering him food and drink and showing him around every corner of the gingerbread house. He felt well taken care of and even thought this might be his new home. However, after a while, the gingerbread man started to feel a tinge of sadness. Although he was treated warmly in the gingerbread house, he couldn't stop thinking about the baker in town and his original home. He missed the townspeople, who chased him because they were worried about his safety. He missed the bakery's smell and the baker's warm smile. The cookie people noticed the change in the gingerbread man's mood and asked if he was homesick. He nodded. They understood and told him, "You're always welcome here, but if you want to return to town, we support your decision." The gingerbread man gratefully thanked the cookie people for their understanding, then said goodbye to the gingerbread house. He carried a heart full of gratitude and precious memories as he walked along the forest path, heading back toward town. While walking through the forest, he encountered a fox. The fox seemed friendly and asked the gingerbread man where he was headed. The gingerbread man explained everything that had happened, and the fox smiled, saying he could help him find his way back to town. The fox suggested that the gingerbread man climb onto his back so that he could carry him through the forest. He climbed onto the fox's back, and the fox started going through the forest. He felt quite relaxed, thinking the fox was kind and generous to offer his assistance. However, the fox had other, less honorable intentions. As they approached a wide river, the fox told the gingerbread man to move up to his head because his back would soon be submerged. The gingerbread man complied, climbing up to the fox's head. However, as the fox reached the middle of the river, he lowered his head slowly. The gingerbread man felt the water rising and cautiously asked the fox what he was doing. The fox merely chuckled, saying it was to ensure his safety. The gingerbread man grew suspicious and decided to stay alert. The fox continued to lower his head, and the water level crept up toward the gingerbread man's feet. Realizing the fox planned to drown him, the gingerbread man shouted.
What are you doing?
The fox laughed and said,
I plan to eat you, gingerbread man.
The gingerbread man felt a surge of fear but refused to give up. He leapt off the fox's head, plunging into the cold river, and started swimming as fast as possible. He knew he had to reach the shore quickly, or the river would carry him away. Not to mention that the fox was lurking behind, ready to strike, so he swam with all his might toward the riverbank. In this danger, he noticed a group of ducks swimming nearby. It was a mother duck leading her ducklings along the river's edge, searching for food. The gingerbread man quickly swam toward the mother duck, hoping to get her attention. The mother duck saw the gingerbread man struggling and immediately swam over to help. With her strong beak, she grabbed his hand and pulled him toward the shore. The gingerbread man was safely brought to land by the mother duck, and he gratefully said,
Thank you, Mother Duck. I might have been swept away if it weren't for you.
The mother duck replied,
No need to thank me, it's just what I do. I saw you were in trouble.
After hearing his story, the mother duck decided to help him avoid the cunning fox. She gathered the small animals in the forest to help guide the gingerbread man safely back to town. The fox, realizing the gingerbread man was now protected by other animals, didn't dare approach him and left in frustration. As he left the forest, the gingerbread man was filled with gratitude. After thanking all the small animals, he finally returned to his original town, determined to find the baker who had made him. When he returned to town, he discovered that the townspeople were still searching for him, looking quite worried. When the baker saw the gingerbread man, he rushed over, relieved and overjoyed. He said that he had been very concerned for the gingerbread man's safety and hoped he would return to the bakery. The gingerbread man felt a warmth in his heart, knowing he had so many friends in this town. He followed the baker back to the bakery and decided to stay. Although the outside world was full of adventure, he knew this town was his home. The baker promised everyone that he would continue making gingerbread men, but this one unique gingerbread man would remain in the bakery to help him with his bread making. The gingerbread man had learned a lot. He knew that while the world was full of amazing things, it was also filled with danger. The townspeople often came to play with the gingerbread man, and the town became more joyful because of him. Everyone remembered the brave gingerbread man whose story would be told for generations.